everybody, it's Ravn. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to teach you everything there is to know to get started in iMovie. I do edit my videos on iMovie. I've been doing that ever since I started here on YouTube. If we're just meeting, my name is Ravn. I've been a full-time magician for the past 7 years, and in the past 2, I've been on YouTube, and I've been absolutely loving it so far. This video is highly requested. This is something that I get questions about all the time. That is how I edit my videos. I'm going to make this super duper simple for you to follow along. So we're going to edit this video, my intro, we're going to be editing inside my computer together. Before we hit the computer though, there are a couple of things that could be nice to know beforehand. If there's any shortcut that you want to learn, there's a link in my description below where you can go, where Apple actually shows you the short commands to everything that you're going to be able to do. Basically everything you could ever think of that you want to do is right in there. In this video, I'm going to show you the most used short commands that I use and how I actually do these things. It's not that hard, and a few other things that we're not going to cover in this video that I have other videos on is how I use Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound is a music service where you can get music and sound effects that you just download to your computer. I've been getting my music and sound effects there for a long time. Absolutely love using it, and they have basically everything that you're gonna need. So what I want to do first before I actually go into the iMovie, I want to make sure that I have everything filmed that I wanted to do. I have my main video, I have my B-roll clips, and I have everything ready, and then I import all of that to iMovie. I know a lot of people are using other software for this, but I find that iMovie is actually more than enough. If you're just getting started with YouTube or you're getting started on any other social media videos, I think this is actually a really good place to start, even if you're just doing family videos. I've been using this for a long time, and I love how you can use it both on your computer and your iPad and on your phone. If you're an Apple junkie just like me, that's how you're gonna be using it. So what I do first is that I take all of the clips and I add them to import. How you use that as a short command is using Command I as in import. That's how you remember it. So Command I, and you get all your clips, you import them, and you have those in your library already. I highly recommend you to wait until you see that the entire clip has been imported before you start editing. You can see that in the left-hand side of the clip, you can see how much is done. And then up to your right, you can also see when it is done importing to your iMovie. So we're ready to start editing. So we just take the clip that we want to edit and we pull it down so we get it right where we want it to go. If you have more than one clip, you can actually pull all of them down so you get an idea of which clips you want, and then you can just move them around in whichever order that you want them to be in. So when you have your clip like this, you can see the blue lines. The light blue one is actually the sound of the clip, so you know exactly when you're going to be talking. To start trimming your clip, I use Command-Shift-S to be able to do the cuts like I just did. And when I'm ready to remove it, I just press delete and it's gone. If you have any music that you know already that you want to use, this is a good time to import that as well. So as you can see on your left, I have a tab named Music. I double check so I have all the files that I want to use. Okay, so we're ready to start. So now you can see the volume on your clip. That's the blue line we were talking about. So that's going to make it easier for us to know when to trim our clip. So by using Command, Shift, and S, we can cut this clip where it is and just press delete and it's gone. Since I recorded a couple of different intros, I want to make sure that I keep the one that I like the most. So now I can just listen through, see which one I like, and just remove the rest. That's the one that I want. So now I'm ready for some music. If you just press one of the audio files and press spacebar, you can listen to it right where it is. And when you find the one you want, you just drag it and pull it underneath your video. So it has to go underneath. After that, you set the volume by pulling it down. You see here, you get those arrows and you pull it down. I usually put mine to either 1 or 2% depending on the music actually. So the one that I'm using for this is going to be 2%. I might change it later on if it's too loud. I like it when my music comes in suddenly. So you see that small round thing? You just pull that and that is gonna, I don't even know the word for this, but that is going to make your audio come in smoother. There are a few different effects you can use. So if you take a look at your right side, you're going to see crop here. This is where you can either make it, fill, or you can crop it smaller, or use something called Ken Burns. That is going to be where you start in one position and end in another. You can also decide which kind of direction you want them to go in. As you see here, you just move it around, and wherever the arrow is pointing, that's the direction it's going to go in. So that's how you use the speed up thing. I've been using that a few times now, but let's go through them all. You have them up here to your right. You have, this is the white balance, and you can match colors. Then we have the different color temperatures in your video. So you have to, well, it's not highlighted. So you highlight the clip and then you can change and see exactly what's going to happen in your video. So here you have the colors and you have the shadows and lights going on your left like this. So this is also going to be the contrast. This I usually don't play that much with. You can also reset it just by clicking it. This is the editing for the cropping. I don't use this setting at all. This is the stabilize shaking video setting. Here you have the audio settings. You can just pull this up and down, see whatever percentage that you want. You can also do this in your clips as I've been showing you, where you pull it up or down. And on this one you can reduce the background noise. And one of my favorites, changing the speed. So you have slow, fast, freeze frame, or custom. This is also the place you go if you want your clip to go in reverse. That could be a really cool effect to add to any video, really. Let's talk about slow first. So you have a different percentage up here that you can use, or you see this here, you just pull this, making sure that it is the exact length and speed as you want. So you just pull that thing and see if it matches the sound or the speed of the video that you want. Moving on, we have the clip and audio effects. So let's talk about the audio effects first. Here you have a couple of different versions that you can have. Same thing here, you can play them before you actually enter them into your clip. So you have the robot one, that one is really funny actually. So listen to this is me as a robot, isn't that funny? Okay, maybe that was just super annoying. Let's go to the clip filter instead. So this one right here, I use all the time. So if you look at any video that I've ever done, you're gonna see this exact technique. So I use this to flip my screen and it kind of looks like I'm talking to myself. So let's say you have two clips that you want to cut in between. So you want to go from one clip to the other. You just pull them above each other just like this. And that's going to look a little something like this when you cut in and out of both of those. So as you saw there, that was a much higher contrast. And you can make so many different interesting clips by just using two different, well, contrasts. And as you have them above each other like this, as you're editing, you want to make sure that you actually cut off things from the top video, because the video that is on the top, that's going to be the dominant video. Okay, so let's go to how I end my videos. I always end the same way. I cover the lens, so I want that to be like a blackout. So I go up here to the transitions. I find the one that goes to black and I end that to the video. So just add that to the end. And then I want a background. I use a black background. I've always been using that. So I have that. Put it to 10 seconds. And I get a lot of questions about this actually. I put it to 10 seconds because I want the music to still keep going, and I want the end cards that I have, you know, the videos that you see at the end of the video, I want that to be surrounded by blacks like this. So let's move to music. I always use the same song at the end, so I put that down here. I'm gonna increase the volume on this because I want another feeling here. I want people to be excited in a different way. Just as you can trim and clip videos, you can do the same with audio. So I edit these like this, so I have the first part be lower and then the other one higher, because this is, I'm not gonna be talking here, so this has to be, you know, higher and people get excited like this. And then I cut the music where the black ends and just delete the part that is not gonna be in the video. Now we're finished, so we press up here. This is where you export to file. So you name it here and you put the quality and resolution, you press next. That is where you decide where you want this to be saved. So you put here, you can change the resolution, and if you want it to be high or, well, I actually don't recommend using anything lower than high. I usually use best for any of my YouTube videos. A few things that are still basics that we didn't cover is the effects that are in iMovie. Well, you could use Epidemic Sound to get most out of this, but if you have Duck, for example, this one I use all the time, just think it adds more to your video. So if you want to play around with this, please do. You just drag it in like this and you can cut it, trim it, make it higher or lower, whatever fits the best for you.
And another thing that we didn't mention really is this thing up here. You can put titles on. This is basically you just putting text on your video. We also have the different backgrounds and of course different transitions for you to try and add to your...
It's not harder than that. You just go in, import, start editing, and then you export it to YouTube or whatever you want to do. There are two more things though that I did not really mention in this video. I want to make sure that I take all the funny bits and put them at the end, or if I say something funny or if I drop something or whatever, I put that at the end because I might want to use them as bloopers. Another tip, if you want to upload these later on and maybe you have a playlist already on YouTube, or maybe you want to have this connected to something else, I always make sure that I have a pen and paper close by so I can just write down whichever timestamp it is, and I can make sure that I have that when I have an end card like this one right up here. This is a video you can go watch later, by the way. So I want to make sure that I know exactly when they're happening. I don't have to go through the video one more time and having to find that moment again. So that's how I edit on iMovie. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. If you're curious about the equipment that I'm using to record this video, I have all the links down below as well for you to go check those out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!